Hey, you guys, good morning. This is the Wise Woman Way. I'm Elizabeth Lyde here at home. I just want to share something with you guys. And yes, it's quite dark. It's early morning here. And I just want to say, remember that our mornings are sacred. We're basically just coming back. I'm lighting the incense. Just coming back from La La Land. Some people struggle the older they get back to get out of bed. But I just want to let you know this message right here, you guys. Find you some nice premium incense, not just any old kind of incense. I'm going to put this right here this morning. I have a lot of incense. You want to burn a nice premium incense, and I like to get incense that I know who make their own, like King David there on Dixwell Avenue with the frankincense. He make jumbo incense, and I love the frankincense. Have a whole pack somewhere, I think right there. But this here one right here I love because this here one is produced in India. And look, you guys must know that India is nothing more than northern or North Ethiopia. They're basically melanated people, probably more melanated people there in India than in Brazil. Okay, around the world. So I'm just saying, light your incense so you could do your grounding, or find a place of solidarity. Before you walk out the house, you want to be prayed up, or you want to go ahead into doing some stretches, some yoga, sit still, meditate, become mindful. It's very, very important. And I just thank God that I tapped into this knowledge early in the 90s when I was coming more into myself through reading and pondering on things that matter close to the heart. Anyway, I'm not going to hold you guys up, for it is a beautiful day, a day before the harvest giving, or people will refer to Thanksgiving. I had to change the name, but for here in America, a lot of our families celebrate Thanksgiving. It's a time where a lot of family get together. What can you do? It is not so much about if you can't beat them, join them. It's all about building relationships. As you move through life, you want to unite more with your family rather than, spread out and go afar around strangers and stuff. The further you get away from your family, the further you get away from your Africanism, you lose yourself. You lose your family. The closer you stay with them, and just like your family, there's people out there that's really have these spirits, mean spirits and stuff. You have it in your family, you have it everywhere. But if you got a problem with your family, go to God about it. But I just want to leave this with you guys. If you have any issues with your parents, whether it's your mother or father, fix it fast. Okay? That's a real issue. You cannot go up against the grains. But check this out. We as a people was never addressed for our atrocities coming out of slavery. Whether we were here before Columbus came or we came by way force on the ships. Just know that we as a melanated people, basically around the world, we were never addressed for our atrocities, never got no help or anything. So look, love your family, understand your family, move to build family relationships. All those folks with white hearts, try to get to them and help build it. How do you do this? Through love. Love is the highest vibration, the highest frequency as well. For love is the reason that God, our creator, or whoever you call your creator, we are no different, trust me. that caused God to make man because of love. Love is a high vibration, a love frequency. And if you ain't got that love in your heart, or if you fall under some kind of skies based on the day you was born, like, you know, we do know about Sagittarius, we know about Scorpios, we know about Cancers, Libra. Look, study yourself. And let me tell you this, you cannot leave out astrology in your life. You cannot bypass what we call in English zodiac. It all comes from Kemet, aka ancient Egypt. We was forced to lose ourselves. Well, look, it is 2022. You need to be forced to know yourself. And I'm not talking about through the gospel, because the gospel comes from us. Islam comes from us. You name it, it comes from the melanated people. And Egypt, if people hadn't gone to Egypt, Egypt have come to the people. And what do I mean by this here? All of our spiritual gurus out there, all of this stuff is basically a spinoff of Africa. And we know before Kemet, aka ancient Egypt, we know that Nubia and Kush is like the grandparents of ancient Egypt, which the world holds so dear. But keep going further and further and further back into your Africanism, and you will find out that as they keep on earthing things up, not only do the Ometec, and I hope I said that right, in Mexico and in the northern areas of the world, or wherever they unearth these artifacts, they keep coming up black and blacker. Okay? This is all about you. We don't lose our brothers, uncles, and so to speak, just to lose them. Someone has really a really issue with people of color. That's the saddest thing on earth, because the melanated people are the people who God chose as the stewards of the earth. Therefore, by way of nature, he have given them the eyes to see, the nose and the ears to hear, and there are other things as well that the original man, and I'm not saying this to make anyone feel different. It is what it is. Let's be clear. You know, we were the first who can sustain the sun. Our kinky here isn't kinky just for nothing. Of course, the great God of Asia, which is the black God of Asia, we know is Buddha. Buddha turned upside down. He is really Sambo, which the world have made so much mockery of, and clowning with the big lips and the big feet and the bulging eyes and the dark skin. Well, this actually was Buddha. Buddha is one of the most highest spiritual systems. It is not a religion. So you need to learn about those four noble truths. You need to learn about the eightfold pathway. It's powerful. I had gotten me a book in the early 90s, and it turned my world around. At the same time, I was studying studying the Quran as well. I was studying with the Jehovah's Witnesses. Let me tell you something about me. The skies I'm born under, I am always going to seek out truth into the ends of the earth, because it's just in my spirit, it's in my blood, it's the way I came here. And you will find that in most Libras. Education is very important. Remember too, you guys, education comes from the melanated people as well. It comes from ancient Kemet, well, ancient Egypt, aka Kemet, or better known as Kemet. But we know before Kemet, we have Zimbabwe, we have Nubia, we got all these other places before ancient Egypt. Okay, so ancient Egypt is so big because the world wonder how we did it. Okay, we are the ones that go into ancient Egypt, aka Kemet. And we are the ones that can take crowds and decode the hieroglyphic writings on the wall. It is us. It is us. It's not the Egyptologist that's there that can spit out and break down the codes. No, because I understand there's a black man who's my mentor, and Fadishi, as well as other like Dr. Rashidi, who can be in these temples and in the pyramids, breaking down hieroglyphics to the point that they're touring, but you have other people touring from all around the world, and when they see these brothers spitting out the knowledge of Kemet off the walls, people just lose it. They just magnet to our folks teaching, and they turn from where they at. I understand, and just move forward to the truth. The black man is the truth. Make no mistake about it. Anyway, my message wasn't supposed to go that way, but because I love truth and I made it in my mind to stand on truth, I've been seeking truth ever since I was 26 years old, and it have served me well. Don't be afraid to step out of your religious box. Please do not be chained to your religion, because religion comes from man. It is considered dogma. It comes from man, all religions. But let me tell you about the African spiritual system, Orisha and all that stuff. That's what you need to tap into, because it will serve you. It will take you to a height in this life where you become on this natural high. Once you become on this natural high, let me tell you something. There ain't no going back. There ain't no turning around. Anyway, strive to find before you die from which you run and to and why. And I want to leave you with this as well. Our folks fought so hard coming out of slavery, chained up like cattle during the Atlantic trade system. And we worked hard to be free. We wanted to be free. And finally, we became free. So just imagine in your mind, what do it look like? Here we are in chains, and we finally get this freedom, physical freedom. And we're looking at our future generations back in chains, in the prison systems. We already know that the laws are basically made for white folks to live and for black folks to die. So we have to be careful on every level, even when we teach in truth, okay? So know the truth, because it's only the truth that will set you free. If you keep on being built up on dogmas that is to keep you in the capitalistic society of the material goods, and you think the material goods is more valued than the spiritual, you're very mistakenly wrong. Very wrong. Because the spiritual things, so above, so below. We come from above, a spiritual realm. When we come here, we're here for a short while, for a human experience. And at some point in time, between that dash, we have our end game. And our end game returns us back into the spiritual world from which we came. Make no mistake about it. All this material possession that you get, as King Solomon said, it's like chasing the wind. And chasing the wind is vanity. You can't get no satisfaction. It's almost like living a life of a phantom. Peel off your mask. Be who you're supposed to be. Take a close look at you, your mind, your body, and what kind of spirit you have. Or find out how do people view you. Don't leave it up to yourself to answer that question. Because it's very important how people see you in the world. Walking, talking, rocking, singing. It's very important. Teach truth to our children. If you like what we do, The Wise Woman Way, please support us. Subscribe, leave your comments. You can share. And you know, you can always donate if you want to. The Cash App would be right now under the founder's name, the $ Elizabeth Teresa. We thank you for tuning in. May the heavens smile upon you. And don't overeat because it's going to make you sick later. We are not prone, or we shouldn't be prone to feeling not so well unless there's just nothing you can do about it. But if we all watch what we eat, practice what we eat, and do better, life will be better for us. As a professor once told me, when you know better, you do better. Ashe.